This is the true story of Blanche Monnier. I'm sure there have been many, many cases similar to it. There's obviously been a lot of horrific stories throughout history, but possibly due to the photographs, this one really strikes my interest. And although it's not really the subject matter of my page, I wanted to do a video on this. But Blanche Monnier was born in 1849, March 1st, in Vienne, France, to a well-respected family. She was very beautiful and had many suitors, but at the age of 25 years old, she decided she wanted to marry a penniless lawyer. But she would pay for her vow of love for that poor man. Her mother locked her in her room in the attic, and she was locked in for 25 years, only given table scraps for food. The window was also boarded up. On May 23, 1901, the Paris Attorney General received an anonymous letter. The letter told the story of a half-starved Blanche living in her own filth. The police soon after raided the home, as the Blanches, her mother and her brother, sat calmly in the living room. Once the police made their way to the attic, they found Blanche, now 50 years old, only weighing 55 pounds. She laid naked on the bed, and she was covered in bugs and feces. The rotten food scraps around her, the window boarded shut. The smell was so bad the police could not enter the room until they had the proper tools to unboard the window and open up the window for air. Meanwhile, Blanche was yelling, "Help! Why have I been locked in here? There must be no God. Police, help, mercy." Once they were in the room, she gushed with joy, and she was taken to the hospital. Once she was there, she was just overwhelmed about how wonderful it felt to be clean and free. Her mother was convicted of imprisonment, but she died 15 days after seeing an angry mob in front of her house, once the word had gotten out. Her brother was convicted of a year in jail, but he, being a lawyer himself, he quickly appealed the charges, blaming his mother, and he said that Blanche was complicit in the abuse. Outrageous. Blanche was nursed back to health, but she had lost her mind due to the imprisonment and the solitary confinement. She was sent back to the psychiatric hospital, or sent to a psychiatric hospital, where she died peacefully in 1913. Her suitor and love of her life died unexpectedly in 1885. Was he murdered by the Blanches' rich and vicious family? I don't believe that was ever really looked in very deep, but the fact that he died at that time seems rather peculiar, seeing as how her family was so vicious enough to lock an innocent, beautiful young woman in love in a room for 25 years. On a side note, some of the details are different from different sources. One says she was born on the 1st, and another one says she was born on the 13th. Another one just says her family members, and after reading different articles, I figured out that it was her brother and her mother. So the details might have been lost in translation from English. From French to English. I'm not really sure. But the story is fascinating. And it does have some kind of a happy ending to some degree. She did find freedom.